DreamWorks' first ever live-action remake is rumored to be in the works, with emphasis on rumored. Instead of discussing what that might look like, there's a bigger issue to address. The more this rumor spreads, the more some people are just accepting it as fact. Some are actually saying,
enough people keep saying it, it must be true.
Which is not how this works. While I'm no Sherlock Holmes, I went down a bit of a rabbit hole.
Though I dirtied my fluffy wet tail, I've emerged enlightened.
And I'm not pretending to know more than I do, but I can at least present something logical. So here's what we know. The rumors spreading from a leaker slash film scooper called Daniel Richtman, or DanielRPK. Richtman claims to be an insider who reports on movie news and trailers, some of which have come true and some of which haven't. Apparently he has a great record when it comes to trailer release dates, but the rest of his records seem pretty hit or miss. Some say he's the best at this, others say he does not have a good reputation. He made a claim recently on his page that says, Dean DeBlois writing and directing a live-action version of How to Train Your Dragon for Universal. That's the entire quote. That's less than a sentence. So he's an insider of some kind, but he's also been proven wrong. Enough that people have voted on how accurate they find him in general. Let's not treat this as a fact until it is one.
It's a huge mistake to theorize before one has data. Inevitably, one begins to twist facts to shoot theories, instead of theories to shoot facts.
Not long after, an article from The Direct cited Richtman as a source, and now other sites are echoing the same thing, using The Direct as a source. If I could offer a friendly critique, news articles are typically written in inverted pyramid style, which is where the most important information goes at the top, and everything after it is less important. I might argue Richtman's claim should go before the box office and Rotten Tomatoes paragraphs at the start, but when it comes to important information, nothing is confirmed yet.
Let me bring you up to speed. We know nothing. You are now up to speed.
If you go to the bottom, it says, little is known about the live-action How to Train Your Dragon project.
Well, now we have a firm grasp of the obvious.
I'll give the benefit of the doubt that Richtman could be right, but I think it's too early not to be suspicious. The articles that have been coming out make it sound like DeBlois is confirmed, which he isn't, which leads us to our next point, Dean DeBlois. The reason I'm skeptical to begin with is that DeBlois passed up the opportunity to make more sequels in favor of making it a trilogy with a beginning, middle, and end, to prevent endless sequels and spin-offs and the story being dragged out. He generally doesn't like sequels and probably wouldn't like remakes.
I distrust them, I'm often disappointed by them, and they feel they lack purpose in a lot of cases.
Also, has anyone looked at his filmography? Here's what he's actually known for. Story on Mulan, directing Lilo and Stitch and Dragons, and a documentary on his favorite band, Sia Rose. He's not known for writing or directing live action, which is different from animation. But here's something on IMDb. He wrote and sold a few live action movies in the mid-2000s that for various reasons never got made. More recently, he was hired to adapt the Micronauts into live action, but there's been no news on this since 2019. This doesn't mean he can't or won't do live action fiction, but he may or may not have other commitments. Either way, almost his entire career has been in animation. Next, more articles, because this goes back further than Richtman. A couple weeks before Richtman's claim, a source called Giant Freakin' Robot, which I keep hearing is unreliable, reported the same exact thing, and like Richtman, didn't include a quote or a source. There's a link for its sources, but it just says confirmed, like they're the Mythbusters, but with no actual proof. But this goes back even further. Last summer I discovered a YouTube channel,
Which shall remain nameless.
repeatedly making videos about a fourth movie in the series, which they completely made up and used for clickbait. I think it's fine to make a video speculating about what a fourth movie could be, or better yet, a video that states Dean DeBlois said he isn't making one, but this is deliberately trying to trick people into clicking. At this point, they've made almost 10 of these videos. My next point is something I made a video about.
9 Elms.
No, sorry, that's 9 Realms. The spin-off series created by Universal less than 3 years after the trilogy ended, which shows they're already interested in building off the franchise, also making fans expect more. Now, it's possible there is a live-action remake in the works that's just coming to the surface, we can't be sure yet. But here's another theory. Universal made a spin-off series much faster than anyone expected, now already 5 seasons in. Some YouTube channels used this as an opportunity to outright promise a fourth movie, a movie that doesn't exist. Then Giant Freakin' Robot, which makes broad claims submitted by anonymous users, joined in making a claim about a live-action movie. Then Richtman, who scoops up confirmed stories and rumors, claimed the exact same thing 2 weeks later. Then other articles started quoting Richtman, quoting each other, bypassing Dean DeBlois, who's not very active online and isn't likely to speak out if this is incorrect, leaving the internet to conclude,
Enough people keep saying it must be true.
I know it's not a breakthrough, but don't believe everything you see on the internet.
Now we have a firm grasp of the obvious.
Remember that the word reportedly in a headline means there's no confirmation yet. If you have a name for a source, do some quick searches to see how reliable it is. And remember that frequency doesn't mean reliability. People are seeing the same rumor again and again because they're quoting each other, all coming from the same source. It's always worth checking official sources. I called this a rabbit hole at the start, but a lot of this research took a few minutes. This does raise one question though. Assuming Universal isn't planning a live-action movie, but everyone's talking about one, how long do you think before all this talk makes them do something?
Food for thought.
I do want to say I have enough thoughts about the possibility of a movie to make that its own video, and I'm writing a video on film music basics, some common terminology, clearing up misconceptions, and the general process film music goes through, and I want to hear what other people want to know about it, so please give me recommendations in the comments. And please like the video if you just learned anything. Thanks for watching.